Hey everybody, welcome to TIW Podcast. I'm Eric, and today I watched The Mandalorian Chapter 5, The Gunslinger. Spoilers ahoy! If you don't want to find out what happens in this episode, then stop listening and go watch instead, because it's great. Another great one. So in this episode, the Mandalorian he starts off being chased by another bounty hunter, this time in space, and he gets a little bit messed up. The ship does, and so after evading and getting revenge for stealing his catchphrase, the Mandalorian has to seek repairs at Mos Eisley on Tatooine. So I don't know the geography of everything. What was the last planet he was at? How close is it to Tatooine? Must not have been that far away. But then again, he might have been he might have been on the road for a while since the last episode. I don't know. But anyway, he gets repairs from Amy Sedaris. Peli Motto is her name, is her character's name. And she's a lot of fun. He leaves Baby Yoda locked up in a closet, and he very quickly gets out of there. And so Peli takes care of Baby Yoda through this whole episode with the intent of what is the word I'm looking for? Ransom, holding the baby for ransom, kind of. But I mean, it was slightly insidious, but really just babysitting fees is what she's looking for. But anyhow, Mandalorian is looking for some work so he could pay for these repairs on his ship, and he comes across Toro Calican, played by Jake Cannavale. As soon as I saw his name, I was like, oh, he must be Bobby Cannavale's son. Because he does look a lot like him. But he's a young bounty hunter trying to get into the guild, and he has an offer for the Mandalorian since the guild doesn't operate out of Tatooine anymore. And it's this bounty, Fennec Shand is her name, played by Ming-Na Wen. And the tracker the tracker fob that he has got them this far. But he wants some help. The deal is that the Mandalorian can keep all of the money for the bounty, because it's just it's getting Toro into the bounty hunting guild. So Mandalorian tells him what they need for the trip, a couple of speeder bikes, some other stuff, and agrees to help him take care of this very dangerous target. And so they do, but they encounter some okay, this is my favorite part of the episode. This is my favorite thing. I realize now that I'm just like going beat by beat throughout what happens, but I'll skip some stuff after this. But this is my favorite thing about the episode, is that they encounter some Tusken Raiders. And the Mandalorian communicates with them with sign language, and I thought that was pretty awesome. I don't think we've seen that before, at least not in live action stuff. And yeah, that was really cool. And yeah, and it showed how much of a jerk that Toro is. He calls them filth and all that kind of stuff. And the Mandalorian's like, well, they think that they're the natives, or that they're the locals, and that everybody else is trespassing. So, you're being a dick. But anyway, they secure safe passage by by giving the Tusken Raiders the what you call them, the binoculars they had, and so they find the target, who is found them first because she shoots at Mandalorian. So they wait until nighttime. They use some flares to obscure her vision, to get close enough to her, and this whole scheme to get to her. He gets captured, and what's his name? I already closed the window. Toro refuses to go find a dewback that they encountered earlier, because they can't all ride on one speeder bike, because the other one got blown up. So the Mandalorian says, "Okay, fine, I'll go get it, whatever." And while he's away, Fennec talks Toro into, tells him all about Mandalorian, that he's a much higher value target than she is, and that if he really wants to get into the guild, that he should let her go and take the Mandalorian in for a bounty instead. He takes her advice, except instead of letting her go, he kills her or shoots her, presumably kills her. We're not sure there at the ends. And I'm really excited to see what happens next. So, okay. So, Mandalorian comes back with the dewback, and she's dead, and he just leaves. He doesn't take the body or anything. He wouldn't be able to turn it in anyway, because the guild is who is after him. But, yeah, he gets back to the repair shop, and, Amy Sedaris and the baby have been taken hostage, and he uses one of those flares again, a nice little everything coming around from the earlier in the episode, and he shoots him dead, gets taken by the droids out to the canyon or wherever, just deposited in a sandbank or something. Who knows what they did? They probably did a terrible job of hiding the body, but I don't think they had to hide it. They just want to get rid of it. Tatooine doesn't seem like a place where a lot of investigations are taking place. It's just like, get this out of here. It's making a mess. So yeah, Mandalorian, he pays off with all the money that he takes from the dude, and he's on his way. But we cut back to the scene where Fennec has been shot. She's probably dead, but another figure has come upon her body, and who might it be? We only see their feet and the lower part of their pants, and I know who I hope it is, but that could just be because my limited knowledge of other characters is like the one character that I know. I hope it's that person. But hopefully we'll find out real soon and not have to wait until episode 8 or whatever. But I did want to talk real quick. I forget if I talked about this in the last episode. My theory of if the if the baby Yoda, maybe I did already talk about this, but I think the baby Yoda is a clone, not offspring of Yoda. Because if it was offspring of Yoda, I'd like to think that Yoda isn't that much of a jerk, that he would just abandon his child. But who knows? Maybe he is and would, and he's just a weird old man anyway. But I think it's a clone, and that he was cloned at the same time that Palpatine was cloned, and there's some type of relation between the two. That's why they want the targets, that they need it to do something with the Emperor clone. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe they made the Emperor clone a lot later, and that's why they need the baby Yoda now, and something to do with the Force. I don't know, but that's I think that baby Yoda is a clone, not what I initially thought, and a lot of the rumors, a lot of the speculation that I was reading after the first episode was that they were going to clone the Yoda baby, make clones from him. But I think he's actually a clone himself. But we'll see. I'm really excited for the next episode. Next week's episode is on Friday, and then the week after that, the episode comes out on Wednesday because the new Star Wars film comes out that Thursday, that Thursday night. So I'm getting really excited for it. Only 3 more episodes total. And I can't wait to find out what happens. I'm wondering, are there plans for season 2 of this show? I really hope so. I think from what I've heard, this show is the most popular show since Game of Thrones. And that's pretty impressive. Like, as far as like most streamed shows, they don't have TV ratings for this because it's not on TV. So I'm really excited. I like this show more and more every episode. And this one was it just continues the serial adventure western / samurai story stuff, and it's just great. So yeah, I'm looking forward to see what happens next. Oh, I hope it's Boba Fett that is tracking down this other guy who's and I read something that that Boba Fett and Jango Fett are actually Mandalorians, that they because they don't follow the way and all of that. And even the talking, Fennec was talking to him in this episode, talking to Toro in this episode, saying, like, if you're on, like, just his armor is worth way more than my bounty. Like, imagine if you had all of that kind of thing. If you don't follow the way, you don't have to observe the customs, but you could still use the armor and all of that. And then he also, before that, he's like, oh, I don't have that armor, or whatever the actual word for it they use is. He's like, oh yeah, you would die if you get shot. So I think that could be, I could just be reading into it, but that could be hinting at Mandalorian looking person, or someone wearing Mandalorian gear, but who isn't one of them. And that could very well be Boba Fett. And we're on the planet where we last saw him in this episode. Totally purposeful decisions for all of that, I think. But anyway, we'll see what happens next. Let me know what you thought about this episode by tweeting me at TIW Podcast. Go to TIWpodcast.com for more reviews. If you enjoyed this episode or anything else on the site, please share some links with your friends. Subscribe on iTunes, Spotify, Stitcher, YouTube, wherever you like to listen. And I'll stay safe out there in all the infinite multiverses. And I'll see you next time here on TIW Podcast. Bye.